Sure. All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Chatham Business Association Small Business Development monthly meeting. Can you guys hear me? Is everybody in the room yet, or is it started? Okay, that's good. All right. So we want to thank you all for coming out. Normally we have Gwen Shaw here to lead us. I'm going to do my best to get us started. And with that, I would like to have a call to prayer or a moment of silence if we could. Just to pray for everybody and make sure everybody's in the right mind for this meeting. Give you about 10, 15 seconds. All right. So with that call to prayer, I'd also like to ask you guys, Melinda, we want to start off with introductions. So we want to, give everybody a chance to say hello. Maybe you can say your name, your company, and a short, maybe 2-sentence spiel, elevator pitch about what you do, just so we can help you get some more business. So if you could, I think Sandy's got the awesome background and she looks like she's ready to do some business. So Sandy, why don't you go ahead and start us off?
Hi, I'm Sandy Yano. My company is Sandy Yano and Associates. I'm a diversity inclusion type consultant. My claim to fame is I was Metra's DB director for 30 years. So I do whatever I did at Metra, technical assistance, certification, writing programs, anything that has to do with these programs. And I'm here because later on in the meeting, I'm going to talk a little bit about the Central Management Services MBE WBE disparity study. Thank you.
Thank you, Sandy, for all the work you do. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right. Tyler, are you there? You ready to go? Or?
Yes, sir. Hey, everybody. My name is Tyler Hines. I am I work at ADP. So excited to share some stuff that we've been collaborating with on.
All right. And then you have your counterpart here also. So Lauren, if you want to go ahead and just introduce yourself real quickly.
Yeah. Good morning, everyone. My name is Lauren. I also am sales executive over at ADP. So we're excited to share some things with you this morning.
Excellent. All right. Mrs. Towns, how you doing?
I'm great. Hello, Chatham Business Associations and friends. I am Thyatira Towns. I'm the business manager for Chicago Public Schools. And I would like to talk later on about our sneak peek. It's coming up. And Melinda, I will be calling you to say, hey, I need you to host a session. So I'll talk to you.
My brother, Charles Captain Jr., insurance expert extraordinary. How you doing, sir?
Good morning, everyone. As Carl has mentioned, my name is Charles Cathy. I'm a local State Farm agent, 1652, auto, home, life, small business, also originating loans with Quicken Loans. The most important thing that we do is life insurance and protecting what's important to our clients. So good to see everybody this morning. Looking forward to a great meeting. Also a member of Chatham. Thank you.
Hey, thank you for everything you did. Beverly, are you ready? Beverly knows.
Yes. Hi, guys. I'm Beverly Holman. I work here at Chatham Business Association. I'm the administrative assistant. I also assist with DBE, WBE, MBE certifications. I help with all the grant opportunities that's rolling out. Also help with the NOF applications. Welcome.
Thank you so much for doing that. We need that too. All those grants. Jennifer Atkins, how you feel? You ready to?
I'm ready. Hello, everybody. Welcome. I am Jennifer Atkins, Interim Executive Director, Chief Business Development Officer, helping businesses in anything that they need to do to expand, meeting them where they are, and a lot of coaching, getting people out of messes, getting people to take on more risk when we feel like they should. And so give us a call. We have open hours Tuesdays and Thursdays in the afternoons. But anytime you need to talk, just give us a call and we'll schedule you in. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Alfonso Jones. How you doing? Good morning.
That's Mr. Glover. Mr. Glover.
Oh, you're muted.
And you're on mute, Mr. Glover.
Apologize, Mr. Glover. I saw a different name there. So go ahead. How you doing?
Clarence Glover, the owner of Majestic Florist at 8145 South Cottage Grove Avenue, and I am a member of CBA.
Excellent.
Valuable member of CBA. Everybody is, but he also serves on our SSA commission and helps us out a lot with that. We appreciate you.
All right.
Thank you.
So we've got Lady Landy. I see the name. I can't see the picture, but there you are representing. Drive safe, but go ahead.
Hello, everyone. Today I am a proud, long-standing member of CBA throughout the companies, which actually currently I am representing Rehab Divas, 360-degree company, a construction company, where we are also Hi Guys Bakery and Cafe, where there's no meeting without eating, and Fresh Start Insurance Agency. So hello, everybody.
You're an entrepreneur. I love it. I love it. Cynthia Love, matter of fact. How you doing? Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone. My name is Cynthia Love. I'm with Chatham Business Association. I'm the corridor manager. I support the businesses in Auburn Gresham, and it's great to be here. Thank you.
Thank you for being here. Mr. Richard Willis. Good morning, Richard. How you doing? No problem. Mabel. Mabel.
Hi,
Yes.
good morning, everyone. My name is Mabel, and I am the founder and CEO of Southside Market, which is a new social venture launching micro grocery stores that can bring everyday affordable fresh foods, and as well as operating as a workers cooperative. So bringing more business ownership to communities on the South Side. And I've had the privilege of working with Jennifer and Cynthia and Beverly, and they were so gracious to invite me on this call. So it's great to join you all today.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you, Mabel. We're going to come back to some more staff in a second, but I know we'd be remiss if we didn't get a chance to hear from Frida Madison. How you doing? Good morning, Frida.
Good morning. Yes, hey, thanks, Carletta and Marie. Good morning. I'm Frida Madison. Hello to everyone. My husband Kevin Madison and I own Madison Enterprises Incorporated, and we're property managers, rehab development and construction on the south side of Chicago, and we're members. Thank you.
Good morning. Good morning. And Mrs. Kim Newman. Mrs. Kim New. Sorry, Kim New.
No, you're fine. You know, my internet over here is a little shoddy after that outage. Good morning, everyone. I am Kim New. I'm the community liaison for State's Attorney Kim Fox. I am assigned to the Community Justice Center South. Thank you.
Okay, thanks for your support. And Maurice Johnson, you ready?
Yeah, Maurice Johnson. I'm the owner of a company called Antares Computer Systems. I resell computer systems and computer services.
Very important. We see Comcast needed you this morning.
Well, yeah, that's yeah. Yeah, that affected me too. So
all right, good. I got a 708. I got a 708 number. Call in if you want to say hello and introduce yourself. Okay, better question then. If you haven't said hello yet, and you haven't got a chance to present yourself, and you want to say something, go ahead and say something, and then we'll go from there.
Good morning, Chase Carpin, the 708 number, diversity officer, MWRD.
I'm one of the lucky Comcast customers as well. CBA Assist agency of ours. Look forward to always sharing opportunities that are available at the district and working with you guys.
Excellent. Okay. Well, I want to give staff and the team that builds this a shout out. And I always start off with Carletta.
Hi, everybody. Good morning. I'm the Assistant Executive Director for Chatham Business Association. I produce the membership meetings. I send out membership invoices, and SSA Program Manager for Chatham Cottage Grove. And thank you guys so much for being here on this challenging day, as there are so many these days. So thank you.
And thank you, Carletta, for keeping us in order and keeping things moving for us so much. We appreciate you. You're one of the best.
Thank you.
And then we've got, we have some more people on here. It's all out of order. So I'm just doing this off of what I can see here. But I think Charles Edwards, the third.
Charles Edwards.
Yeah.
I'm IT Program Manager.
Okay. And then Beverly's here? I don't see Beverly.
I'm here. I already went, Mr. Carr.
All right, gotta look out for you now. They gotta know y'all. All right. So I'm Carl Riley. I'm with Fifth Third Bank. I'm a business banker. I support you guys. And if I don't know if I can't do it, I always tell you who to go to get the deal done. I do small business loans for companies under $10 million. My goal is to try to grow you guys above that number. Help you. Right now, I'm doing some really awesome work with owner-occupied commercial real estate. Under $500,000, you can do 100% financing through SBA Express, but you got to be in business 2 years and you got to earn 80 score. So that's, just if you have a question or concern, I'll leave my information there. You can always text me or call me. And I know there's some other.
What'd you say the score had to be? It sounded like you said 80. What'd you say?
680.
Oh,
like the SBA minimum. Yeah, 680.
I was like, okay, if it's 80, we gonna all apply. Okay.
80. Yeah, we need about 680 plus. And if you don't have good credit, it's time to build it. I would challenge everybody to pull their credit report and see what's going on with their credit report. Credit is such a thing that moves. I moved my credit score one time, 90 points in a month off of paying off some debt.
Wow.
So don't get stuck in whatever you think you're stuck in. They say, if you want to help a person, tell them the truth. If you want to help yourself, tell them what they want to hear. I heard that yesterday. I thought it was great. All right. Any other board members that want to say something? All right.
I'll speak later because I've got, I'm always talking during the whole thing, but thank you, all my board members, for their support in all the things they bring. And Carl, I know you usually read them off, but if you want me to, I can.
I would love for you to do it.
Okay. So, this year we also in partnership with ComEd, thanks to our board member, Corey Foster, and the whole team at ComEd, we are again able this year to hire 100 new people. We call them Community Energy Assistance Ambassadors. And their job is to go out to the community and make sure that as the holidays come, no one is without energy, that they have all the relief they can get with their bills. So in addition to creating 100 jobs for community folks, training them on the products, we also connect them to a workforce partnership where we partner with city colleges to make sure that beyond this program, because the CARES dollars run out at the end of the year, they have the ability to be attractive to organized union organizations so that they can get jobs with economic value, because there is really a lot happening in Illinois, opportunity for businesses. And we do it because we cater to small businesses, and you all need talented, trained workforce on some level in order to successfully run your business. We also have AT&T, who is part of that workforce initiative and has, worked with us to get the hotspots for the Chromebooks that we gave to all the ambassadors, because they have to be out, they have to get resume ready. They have to be able to access those classes online. So thanks to Elaine Granger, at AT&T who also supports our initiatives. And obviously we have business folks on our board because they help guide us in the programs to keep us relevant. So you've heard from John Griffin. He's offered the cybersecurity for small businesses and free consultations. He presented at one of the membership meetings. We have Ananias Granger, who is with A&D Properties, who helps us actually build businesses, but he also does property preservations. And when the city was going through civil unrest and we needed board ups, we were able to help create small businesses in that space. But they also just guide us to make sure that the things we do are just not, he wants to make sure that every program we do, a business can appreciate and get a return on their investment. The other board members we have is, I'm drawing a blank, but Gwen Shaw, Country Financial, you know, she's here every month. And she always tells you, every business needs to be properly insured all the time. We also, am I missing anybody? We got Carl Riley. Oh, and then we have PNC Bank as well, represented by Sean Boone, who is him and Shawana Ward, who, I mean, when PPP come in, Carl Riley, I mean, we did workshops, we did everything, and we'll continue to do everything we can as all of businesses begin to put that economic flooring under them. I think I got everybody on the board. If I miss somebody, they should shoot me because I should be shot for that. So big kudos to them. And one of the things I'll just, that we want to announce, and I know we have other business to do before with the minutes and things, but Chatham Business Association, it was announced on October 28th. We are, the SBA received 700 applications for a community navigator RFP that they put out. And out of the 700 applications, 51 were chosen. They're nationwide, and we were one of them. We're tier 3. And what that means is that we will have direct access with the federal government. Our goal is to bring those resources into the community, work with our other partners. And we have a brief YouTube video. And I did not mention also Monica Lanier, thank you, Carletta, who is also part of the Fifth Third team. She's also on our board of directors. About the announcement that was made on the 28th. So if you indulge me for 1 minute, and Charles, if you could bring it up, we'll just let the SBA director explain why they did it and what the program is. And I'll stop it when they start interviewing all the other SBA grantees.
Okay, so start the video from the top.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Businesses navigate government and creating policies and programs to help advance entrepreneurship and innovation. Most recently, she served as the director of the California office of the Small Business Advocate, where she helped small businesses and innovative startups in the world's 5th largest economy start, expand, and grow. Administrator Guzman advocated fiercely for financial relief for small businesses and focused on expanding assistance to entrepreneurs in underserved communities. In addition, she served as the Economic Recovery Support Function Coordinator for the state, where she spearheaded the small business recovery effort during the COVID-19 pandemic. Madam Administrator, thank you for your notable and persistent encouragement and steadfast support of the Community Navigator Pilot Program, and we welcome you to the stage.
Oh, Mark, thank you. Thank you so much for your tireless leadership, your energy. I think you keep us all going, and the commitment that you've shown to help bring this transformative new pilot program to life at the SBA. And thanks to every one of our applicants as well. Our notice for this pilot program received more than 700 submissions, far outpacing our expectations. And it's a true sign of the incredible talent and spirit of leadership that is standing up to help small businesses in communities all across America today. I am so grateful to all those who applied and proud to serve a nation filled with organizations and local governments ready to collaborate. And an enormous and special thanks to my dedicated mission-driven SBA team who have carried this project forward on behalf of America's small businesses. Mark Madrid, plus his core navigators team, Yvette Golazzo, Shaleigh Hallway, Terry Sutherland, Ben Selden, Angela Clements, frankly, Mark's entire team in the Office of Entrepreneurial Development. Thank you all. And Natalie Madera Cofield, our Associate Administrator in the Office of Women's Business Ownership, for her leadership on the Notice of Funding Opportunity and her endless support. All of our staff who participated in the 20 technical evaluation panels and awards panels. All of our field offices and incredible support function offices. This was a whole of SBA approach to delivering this game-changing program. So thank you, everyone. Just an acknowledgement of the hard work that goes into something of this magnitude. And today's announcement will be the first step in launching this transformative new approach to delivering our most essential SBA services. This program has been a focused priority of President Biden. It was one of the first things we talked about when he nominated me. I know I've shared that. It's such a recognition of what COVID laid bare, that we need to build better connections to our nation's smallest and also our underserved small businesses. As not everyone has that CPA or lawyer on speed dial to help them navigate resources that they need. And as he's often said, great ideas come from anywhere and everywhere. And it's our job at the SBA to make sure that all those great ideas have the chance to become thriving small businesses. From day one, President Biden has made addressing inequities a whole of government approach so that we could invest in communities and level the playing field so everyone has a fair shot. I am proud to serve as a member of the most diverse cabinet in American history on an economic team during such a historic time. And I'm grateful that the SBA has been empowered with investments to deliver on the president's vision of an inclusive economy. And the Community Navigator Pilot Program is just one of the ways that this vision is coming to life. It's truly exciting to introduce you to our newest network of champions for small businesses. The work that these navigators will be doing, helping us reach entrepreneurs that have been hardest hit by this pandemic and have historically been left behind. It's at the forefront of the effort to build a reimagined economy that works for all of us. You navigators will be focusing on the smallest of the small in urban and rural America, those businesses owned by women, veterans, and people of color. They are the future. Investments we make in them today through community navigators will deliver high returns that spread across families, communities, and throughout the nation for years to come. America's 32.5 million small businesses and innovative startups produce 2/3 of net new jobs, employ half of our private workforce, and produce 40% of our nation's economic output. They may be small individually, but I call them giants in our economy, and they are. As we ready the nation for the challenges ahead, whether from a changing climate crisis or rising global powers, our economy can't afford to leave talent on the sidelines. At the SBA, we help businesses start and grow and be resilient with access to funding, market opportunities, and network.
And we can go back to the full screen.
Announcement. Okay.
No, what we can do is send that later. We'll talk about it a little bit, but we'll just go back to the full screen for now. So we're real excited about this opportunity. When we met with the group at large, with the other 50 groups, they're from all over the world, including like the city of Flint is a navigator by itself, but the conversations between us have already started in what types of businesses we can use in different places that we can connect. Because sometimes, and we advocate for this a lot, sometimes an Illinois business, if you get your operations together and can perform in another state, or we can make that connection, you can grow bigger and better right here at home. So one of the resources we continue to do, in addition with this Navigator grant, that's one of the reasons why we're bringing our presenters to you today. You know, it was clearly apparent when COVID hit, two of the biggest initiatives that CBA, I think, we started in 2012, where we talked about the importance with the different carriers, when the IT ambassadors went business to business, Cynthia represents the business in Auburn Gresham. We also have the South Shore corridor. But when we go to these different businesses, the Get Connected program was born out of the fact that they're not connected. Some of them don't have the ability on the technology side. It had to do with housekeeping. It had to do with when PPP hit, you needed that technology, but you also had to have your payroll records together. And what happened a lot of times is that delayed our ability to help businesses take advantage of the dollars that were there. We are not going to let that happen again. And as a result, what we did is, the same thing they tell you when you're getting on an airplane, they say, put your mask on first. And what our mask for saving us through that process was that we work with ADP. So therefore, when it hit, not only were we able to, I want to say stay in business, but we were in a position to begin working with our bank, getting our information together so that we didn't have to close. We were able to pivot. And we need to make sure that moving forward, with or without COVID, that the businesses have access and information and a partner to make sure that they are able to handle payroll. Now, payroll is just not payroll. There's an HR component to it that has also been brought about by COVID. Because I could tell you right now, employees are the highest value source of any business. We as employers are challenged. We have to show employees that we care about them. And how do you care about them? It is really what you offer them. It's how you manage them. It's how you're able to be fair. You can't do one over the other. You don't want to break the law, but then you need to be aware of these new laws that are hitting us every day and the challenges that are hitting our employee. So what we did is we met with ADP on several times, and they were really chopping at the bits. They brought in their leadership, and Tyler and Lauren are here to tell us about a new partnership as we continue to help you navigate with the SBA products, help your business grow. This internal operations component is key to our ability to connecting you to other opportunities. And I know that there is a bio somewhere. Carl, do you have it? Let me see. This is what
What are you
happens
looking
when
for? It's a file for
the
what?
bio for Lauren and Tyler. Can you intro them? You got
I have that. One second. Let me get that going. I'll get right here.
And I can do a drum roll while you're looking if you want.
Would you like who wants to go first, Tyler or Lauren? Or Lauren?
Which one of you I would like to go first?
Ladies first.
Ladies first. All right. All right. So I don't want to mispronounce Lauren's last name. How do you pronounce it, Lauren?
Kenya.
Akenya. Okay. All right. So Lauren Akenya is a sales executive for the Small Business Services Division of ADP, Chicago. She was born and raised in Chicago, and after attending the Jacobs School of Music at Indiana University, began a career in sales. In her 7-year tenure at ADP, she has been a top performer, received a healthcare license, and has been in sales leadership for the last 4 years. Lauren is passionate about partnering with diverse business communities and has been instrumental in providing support and resources to the veteran community. She and her fiance live in Chicago and are currently planning our wedding for this December. So I know you are stressed out.
The slow release panic attack.
Yeah, you just know it's gonna happen and y'all gonna have a good time and the bill will come afterwards. So
right.
So go ahead, Lauren, and when we give Tyler's intro too.
And Tyler's too, and then that way they can just tag team and we don't have to break for an intro.
That sounds good. That sounds good. So Tyler Hines, a district manager for the Small Business Services Division of ADP, supporting clients locally in Chicago and nationwide. Tyler was in the Navy from 2012 to 2017, during which he did a world tour deployment on board the USS Theodore Roosevelt CVN 71. After his time with the Navy, he obtained a degree in finance and business management at DePaul University prior to beginning his career at ADP. As a veteran, Tyler is extremely passionate about driving initiatives to serve his community and giving back to those who have given so much for us all. He and his wife live in Chicago and are happily expecting their first son in December. Man, everything's happening in December?
Yeah.
And Tyler, that's so cool that you get to travel the world. You did a world cruise before I did. So that's awesome.
Thank you, Carl. Yeah, it was a good time.
First child, right?
First one. Yep.
All right. You have enough money. Don't worry about that. Just spend time with the baby and her. Don't worry about it. And get gift cards for your baby shower. That's all you want to do. Gift cards. If she wants to buy stuff, let her buy whatever she wants. Buy it on one credit card. And then you can turn it back to the stuff that she doesn't use.
Yeah, smart. I like that.
All right. So tell us what you got to offer, guys.
Yeah, definitely. I will share my screen here. We got a little presentation put together.
Excellent. Excellent.
You guys see that?
Yes.
Yes.
I would just want everybody to know the importance of these two people that are talking today. They are my best friends. I don't even know them, but when I look at your tax returns and I look at your background, if you have a tax lien, my deal is dead. So get some payroll services so that you can protect your business, and that way we don't have any tax liens, so we can get deals done. So when I see that you're working with somebody like them, I'm just like, yes, I can relax. I don't have to worry about a tax lien harpooning the deal at the last second.
Well, thank you. And everybody, thank you for taking the time this morning and allowing us to kind of present to everyone. I know this is, Melinda, something that we've been working on for a few months here. So, glad that we're all able to kind of sort everything out and get it going. So, again, we're here with the CBA. So for the agenda, we're just going to go through intros, even though Carl did a great job of introducing us, talk about kind of why ADP. We'll go through what we've heard, how we support businesses of all sizes, not just the big ones. We'll go through some different credits and then cover some hot topics and then open up for questions. So, again, my name is Tyler Hines, formerly in the Navy. And then, right after I got out, and after I finished my degree, I worked at a startup. It was a construction company here in Bronzeville. And, it was, you wear a lot of hats. So there's a lot of these things that are these hot topics that are very relatable to me. So definitely can relate on a lot of these things that, the business growing pains. And with that, I'll kick it over to Loren.
Thank you, Tyler, and thank you, Melinda and team, for having us today. We're so excited to be here. So as Carl mentioned, my name is Loren. I was born and raised in Chicago. I actually grew up on 77th and Ada, so I'm pretty familiar with the Southside community. And when I had an opportunity to work at ADP, I was so glad to be able to have Chatham and Auburn Gresham as part of my territory. So I feel like this is a full circle moment, but we're really excited because obviously, as Melinda mentioned, this last year and a half has shown us a lot, and not just because of the pandemic, but because of some of the other issues and concerns that have plagued our nation. And at ADP, we've seen the results of that big time. So whether it's business owners who are starting a business because their employment situation happened differently than they thought, or business owners that are now looking to maintain their business or stay afloat because maybe some of the reporting wasn't where it needed to be. There were just a lot of ways that business owners missed out on opportunities because they did not know what they didn't know. And so we're working now with the CBA to provide more proactive and direct support on some of the issues that business owners are concerned about and ways to keep businesses open and safe during these crazy times. So we're so excited to kind of share with you how ADP can do that. Tyler, if you want to go on to the next slide. You want to take this one?
Sure. Yeah, so, look, I work in the community as well, all over kind of the South Side and all around. So, there's a lot of kind of misconceptions and these are just things that we commonly hear from business owners is, it's too expensive, or, we're too small, I don't really need payroll, or, I'll just pay everyone as 1099, so I don't have to pay those taxes, or my CPA or my accountant handles it. ADP's too big. So, Loren's going to explain that, whether or not you're a one-man shop or you have 100 employees, there's certain criteria that make it mandatory to have payroll. But also, throughout this presentation, we'll kind of debunk a lot of these different kind of myths.
Awesome. So to Tyler's point, a lot of times, payroll is viewed as something you graduate into after you've been in business for some time or have generated a certain amount of profit. But payroll is actually not dictated by your length of time in business or by your earnings. It's by your business entity structure. So as you're registering for business and starting your business up, that decision between whether or not you're going to be a corporation or a sole proprietor or an LLC, these are all things that greatly impact the way you will operate from a taxation standpoint and with your staff. So for example, if you are a corporation, you're actually required to pay at least one employee a reasonable wage on a quarterly standpoint. A lot of business owners don't know that. A lot of business owners also don't know that payroll can be quarterly. So this necessity to get to payroll every single week or biweekly is not something you have to do. It's a completely unnecessary, and there are ways for you to manage that compliance on a very affordable and quarterly rate. If you're a sole proprietor, you're actually already being taxed. So it's not possible to process a payroll. And if there's another payroll company out there where you actually are able to sign up for payroll as a sole proprietor, you are going to be triple taxed. So those are things that we review with business owners just to make sure that they're not getting got, so to speak, into processing a payroll when they don't need to. Or if you're an LLC, depends on your employees, depends on the business and the way you're operating, depends on how you're planning on taxing yourself, because as an LLC, you have that choice to be taxed as a sole proprietor or a corporation. So these are some of the ways, as Melinda mentioned, if you don't have a CPA or a direct support system that's kind of walking you through this, and you just kind of get on Google and go through LegalZoom or a friend who's given you some information without doing a lot of research, you can be setting yourself up for some really big fines and fees and operating out of compliance. So part of what we're going to be able to do is walk you through kind of your entity structure and what you need to do from here and how to make any changes if applicable.
Lauren, can I mention one thing?
Yeah.
When we do business consultations, which is why we're embedding this, sometimes people have CPAs and taxpayers, and you may have been on where they are in the mode of helping you write things off. My point is this: all CPAs and tax preparers are not familiar with the payroll system. So whether you have one or not, you really need to have someone who is expert in this field of payroll, because when the IRS reaches out to you, sometimes your CPA will tell you they don't know. So you really do need, whether you have one or not, I recommend that you have both, and a payroll expert who will work with your CPA or your tax preparer. And don't assume because you have one, you don't need the other.
Absolutely, Linda. Go ahead, Tyler.
I was just saying, yeah, absolutely. So, we work with a number of accountants, CPAs. That's a really big partnership that ADP has in place. So always just looking to, be consultative and help out any questions, whatever it may be. But sort of getting back here, when we were talking how people just pay their employees as contractors, as 1099s. So historically, there's been a pretty big misclassification of employees. And back in March, actually, the Department of Labor announced that they're going to start auditing companies to verify that their employees are indeed contractors. So as you can see from this little graph, the big one is like, hey, are you telling your employee what hours to work, or are they telling you when they're available? If you're setting the schedule, if you're telling them how to do the job and when to do the job, and they're using your equipment, that's a W-2 employee. I've seen some business owners try to say that, well, at a restaurant, they're 1099. So, even like the hostess, or I've had people say, what's another common one, Lauren, that you see a lot?
I see it a lot with construction companies. They'll say that their employees are 1099, but the employees are told to come to work every day from 9 to 5, and they're wearing the construction company uniforms, using the construction company's and tools, and they're operating as an employee. Tyler, if you don't mind, just to kind of give you guys an example of the difference, a W-2 employee, let's say we're talking about a driver. If you own a restaurant and you have a car that has your restaurant's logo on it, and you have someone that comes in from 9 to 5 and they're driving out orders, that's a W-2 employee. But if you think of something like Uber, where you're using your own vehicle, you're signing on when you're able to drive, and Uber is not providing you with any tools or equipment in order to do your job, maybe other than those stickers, but they're not specifically dictating your role. That's the difference between a W-2 and an independent contractor. And the reason why this is so important is because, as we all know, 1099 contractors, they don't have taxes taken out of their check because that's their personal responsibility to manage. And what happens is a lot of business owners opt to pay their employees as 1099 contractors, either because they don't want to pay the taxes or because they want to extend some support to their staff. But misclassifying employees could lead to accusations of tax evasion. So there's some ways that you can kind of walk through what should be done, and to Tyler's point, to avoid getting into issues or any fines or fees from the Department of Labor.
Yeah, thank you, Lauren. Yes, so, besides just paying people, ADP does a whole lot more. So we've actually been in business for over 70 years, and that includes 10 recessions. So throughout that time, we've helped businesses just, like any of you here, in the most uncertain of times. And last year was no exception. So to Melinda's point, the huge catalyst was PPP. That definitely kept a lot of businesses above water. And once they announced that program, the government sorted it out. The very next day, those reports were live in our system, so you could take advantage of it immediately. So that's just one example. But also, look, for being a business owner, there aren't enough hours in the day. You're always being pulled in different directions. At least that's what I experienced when I was working at the startup. So really what ADP is here to do is minimize the administrative burden and allow you to focus on those revenue generating activities. So whether it's the employee onboarding and sending the new hire paperwork to the Department of Labor, or making sure you separate your W-4s and I-9s, or even keeping up with all the changing, compliance and legislation. There's a number of things that we can really help minimize the time that you're spending and allow you to do what you love doing. This is your biggest passion is your business, and, serving your community and helping the people around you. So, not only do we help manage all the people, but also from a business performance standpoint, there's ways that you can absolutely take advantage of some of these tax credits that we're going to talk about here next.
So some of the hot topics that have been going on in the business community are, obviously, as we come to the end of the year, different credits that business owners are eligible for, as well as new and evolving HR concerns based on the changing climate. So to Melinda's point, these are the ways that business owners may actually be able to cut their costs or even increase their revenue by taking advantage of the programs that already exist. You don't know what you don't know. So if you are able to take advantage of any of these credits, the idea of paying for a payroll service, or the idea of paying for hiring support, or the idea of paying for legal support becomes a non-factor because your business is already getting that credit back through other ways. So for example, one of the main ones we have out right now is the research and development credit. That's a credit that the government is issuing to businesses based on their industry. So they're basically providing credits back to businesses that are advancing society, whether it's agricultural, whether it's farming, whether it's technology. We had a client who has a video game that teaches kids how to farm, and they were able to take advantage of the research and development credit because it's advancing the youth, it's advancing the concept of farming and building business in America. So that's something that we can support you with. The employee retention credit, that essentially is a credit that the government is offering to businesses that have demonstrated a loss this year versus 2019 prior to the pandemic. We would look at data quarter to quarter to find out where that loss is, and they can get quite a bit of money in return. This is where having your payroll reports and having your records clean is extremely important because it is based on historical data. Also, when it comes to retirement and other forms of benefits, there are ways that these programs can provide a tax shelter for you because the benefits are done pre-tax. So you can actually extend more to your employees by costing less than what it would be to give them a raise or to increase their earnings. And then obviously there's some new HR concerns, the legalization of marijuana and how to manage that in your employee handbook, cybersecurity and how to manage the identity thefts and the data breaches that are happening nationwide. Vaccination mandates. Obviously, Biden recently made an executive order that any business with 100 or more employees have to provide negative test results or be vaccinated. How does that impact small businesses? How do you manage an employee who wants time off to get their vaccine or who did not get vaccinated and maybe infected other employees? These are all unique circumstances, and there's no playbook for that yet because we're living it right now. And those are some ways that our HR team will actually do proactive research and provide you with updates. And then obviously in the state of Illinois, sexual harassment is, there's a mandate to provide sexual harassment training to any business that has any employees that are more than just an owner. So we didn't want to spend a ton of time getting into the details of all these because we could be talking forever. But one of the amazing parts of the partnership with CBA is that we are able to offer a complimentary HR evaluation for your business. So Tyler and I will sit with you. We'll ask you a ton of questions. We are not affiliated with the Department of Labor or the IRS. Okay, we are here as friends. We will walk you through, ask where you guys stand, where you want to be, and we'll give you a little bit of guidance on what you can get done. Some of those things ADP can help out with, some of them we might not be able to, but we'll always point you in the right direction. And our goal is to help you be armed with the information to make choices that are best for you. So Tyler, if you want to go to the next slide.
Yep. Yeah, so just getting back to kind of what we've heard and these common objections is, ADP is too expensive. I would just say that, look, pricing is completely customizable. It's based off of employee size, frequency, what needs you have. But this is something that we were able to work out is that, we do now have exclusive pricing for CBA members. So this is something that I know Lorena are really proud about because, just happy to be giving back.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'd also like to say there's so many different divisions of ADP, and Tyler and I specifically represent the Small Business Services division. So most of the clients we have 1 to 10 employees. So even if it's just you and your spouse, you and your child, we can help with that. And we're very aware of how much does it cost? Can I cancel? How is this going to impact my bottom line? Those are the questions that we ask ourselves. So we will absolutely be able to manage that for you. The next one here, I'm too new or too small for payroll. As we talked about, payroll is based on your entity type. So even if you're a photographer working out of your basement for wedding season, you got to pay yourself on a quarterly basis if you registered as a corporation. So we have a couple of different payroll frequencies and programs to be able to help you stay in compliance without breaking the bank or forcing you to pay up money that you haven't earned yet. Tyler, you want to take the next one?
Yeah, so I'll just pay my employees as 1099. So as we kind of discussed, if your employee is using your truck and wearing your uniform and working the hours that you tell them to be working, that's a W-2. And there are agencies that are dedicated. This is their whole job, is to investigate businesses and do audits. So look, I mean, you could definitely be slick and get away with it for 3 years, but look, when it finally catches up, you're going to be looking at potentially thousands of dollars of fines. So, is it worth it in the short time? Maybe, but in the long term, it always comes back full circle. I don't know, from my experience at least.
And also, Ty and Sandy, for our other business members, I did ask them about the certified payroll on the construction site, so they will be able to help our smaller vendors and our contractors. So when we roll it out, we'll be able to offer that as well.
Yep. We can do certified payroll and job costing. The next one is that my CPA or accountant handles it for me. So payroll is just 17% of what ADP does. Typically when someone says that, we ask, what is it? Because if it is just cashing checks and paying taxes, then who's helping you with onboarding? Who's helping you find that employee? Who's helping you have that difficult conversation when they need to be written up? Who's helping you register for benefits and make sure that your retirement is set in place? So those are the areas that we really support, and we partner with CPAs nationwide, quite a few in Chatham actually, to be able to supplement the tax work that they're doing. We don't do end of year tax returns for the business. We don't do the corporate tax returns or the sales tax. So you absolutely can maintain a strong relationship with your CPA while allowing us to supplement the part that with your employees that matter. Ty, you want to take the last one?
Yeah, definitely. So, ADP is too big. Getting back to what Loren just said a little bit ago is, hey, my average client size is like 5. I have probably 20 clients who are just a one-man shop. So, there's a bunch of different divisions, but, here we would definitely work with CBA, Chatham, and provide, exclusive support. So, our size is 1 to 50, and we don't really work outside of those spaces unless we involve partners. So, even though it's a big company, we still work with small businesses.
Yeah, and I would just like to close by saying our role as a partner of the CBA is not just to sell payroll. And I want to make that very, very clear. Our role is to provide education and resources and support. So please be loud and proud and vocal with us. Ask us what you need help with. We will provide resources, webinars, podcasts, articles, whatever you guys might need, just let us know. For example, we just had a really big diversity and inclusion summit that we ran, and we had Soledad O'Brien and the owner of Spanx, who is awesome, just paid out her employees a ridiculous benefit for sticking with her through the pandemic. So anytime we have things like that, we'll let you know, but feel free to use us as an extension of the CBA and to support. And Melinda and team, we just really appreciate the opportunity to work with you guys, and we're excited.
No, we appreciate the opportunity. One of the things we all recognize as business owners, you cannot afford to have a bad employee. You talk about really hurting your bottom line. Also, in our busyness, and we talked about this at the Urban League Workforce Panel, it's a new day now. So when you ask your employee how they are doing and they have concerns, you can't just shrug them off. You need a back house. You need someone to help you. If it goes beyond I'm doing okay, to other things, I'm feeling overwhelmed, I'm feeling this, you need that back support once you answer correctly, and don't take yourself down a path where you're charged with discrimination or other things that are not in your part of your culture. But again, in this new environment, we have to show our employees that we care, and there is some thought and investment to taking care of them. What we're doing with ADP together is making sure we give you affordable support that can be customized to you, which is why ADP has agreed to do individual consultations. We talked about our last, cybersecurity. Now, if people are applying for loans, homes, and things like that, you really don't want that coming on your fax machine, and you don't really want to verify. There's mechanisms and technologies that we can do that to protect them and to protect us, and to be consistent and timely with what we're doing. So our goal is to do this loud and clear, go business to business, make sure they know when you have someone at ADP at the table, what that allows you to do is, if there's unique things that payroll for the restaurant industry, which we know, which might be different from the automotive services, this is going to give us, by us participating, to develop unique customized programs just for those industries with ADP as our partner. And if it's anything you're uncomfortable about, we're going to be not at every consultation, but we're still here with you. Let us know if something, or you have a question, or you want to run it by us before, we're always available to help. I see Ronald Millsap from Provident Bank has joined us as well. So this is really important. So we're going to go within the corridors in Auburn, Gresham, Chatham with the small businesses. When you're working with your vendors, we want to make sure we're going to make it available to all members. You don't have to be quote unquote a CBA. This is so important that we want to share it with any business to get going, and you'll still get the benefit of the partnership of the organization, because it is just that important to us as we prepare you to get ready for this infrastructure bill that's coming down the pipeline and all the wonderful things that are going on in Illinois right now. So I see a hand. Maurice, is that your hand up, or is that my computer?
That's not my hand.
That's not your hand? Okay. Let me check the chat. And then I'm also going to, while I'm doing this, I can turn it over to Sandy to do her update, and because I can't see the chat, Carletta, for some reason, unless Lauren or Tyler can see it. And if
I
it's any
don't think we
questions.
have any questions, but we did put our contact information in there if anyone wants to connect offline, and then obviously we'll be in touch as we continue to roll out the program.
Yeah, so you're gonna get actually email through your membership from Carletta as well, so that we can capture the chamber master and start scheduling if you're a member. If you're a non-member, you're gonna reach out to Beverly and to Jennifer. We're still gonna set it up. And Cynthia will put our flyer together so that you can drop it in the door-to-door in the 79th Street corridor in Auburn, Gresham, and South Shore. We'll do the same in Chatham. So we can get this rolling out. Make sense? Okay.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Andy?
I'm here. I'm ready whenever you are.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, I have a couple of slides if Charles can get them going anyways. And everything that you guys are doing is always so timely. This payroll and back office type assistance is really necessary. Going through the, helping people with certifications, how many times has this become a problem that where there's a lack of records, proper records? And I must say that the CBA is always tries to be on top of things. So I hope the membership takes advantage of the knowledge that's been imparted this morning. And we're timely also working for Colette Holt on these disparity studies, again, with all the money coming in to the state, from the federal government. And we want to make sure that our programs are not challenged. Our MBE and our WBE programs are not challenged. And that's one of the reasons that these disparity studies are conducted, to make sure that the governmental agencies are always up to date with their program, and their program must be legally defensible. So we are here to assist the agencies in updating the program and ensuring that the goals of their programs, most important, are legally defensible, and the goals that they place on contracts should not hopefully ever be challenged and end up in a lawsuit. So there's actually a couple of elements to the study, and I'll just go through this very briefly. One is the quantitative side and one is the qualitative. The quantitative, like right now we're working on CMS, we're starting the tollway, is looking at the money that's already been spent over the last 5 years. The goals that were set, if they were met, and actually how the money's been spent. Next, we go into the next slide. I will just move on. I am working on not the quantitative side, I am working on the qualitative side, which we believe is actually more important than the quantitative side, because if a program is challenged, as I've said before, Colette Holt goes before the judge and the judge looks at the contract data, he looks at the numbers, but he also, next slide, he or she, the judge, is also interested in hearing the qualitative side. And that's the anecdotal evidence that we get from talking to business owners. So I'm here to encourage people who are starting to receive emails, if they are certified, from Colette Holt. They usually come on Mondays, to complete a very brief online survey regarding right now CMS's MBE WBE program. And in the next month, there will be emails inviting the business owners to participate in a virtual business owner meeting on Zoom, maybe about 15 or 20 business owners at one time, to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly of how CMS conducts its MBE, WBE, VBE. All of the VBEs will be discussed in this disparity study. Okay, and based upon what we get from the numbers and the anecdotal evidence, Colette will be suggesting an overall annual goal for CMS for their program. And then I think I have the last slide gives information on how to participate and contact information. So I just want to make everybody aware that it's out there. It is through us that recommendations will be made. It was through us that there were changes made to the City of Chicago's MBE program. Colette was tasked with looking at those size standards. So again, this is your opportunity to let us know how things are affecting you relative to the CMS MBE WB disparity study. And I'd be glad to take any questions. If not, I'll let the CBA move on.
No, Sandy, this is very important. This program is key, and we have to improve it. It's one thing to get certified, and I know, we talked about this at other meetings. CBA has been engaged on the federal level about the DBE size standards. One, to be quite honest, we just don't have enough businesses in the program to, I want to say, change our community, right? Because in our whole mission of the organizations is that small businesses lead the community transformation. They get contracts, they hire and train from the community, it improves our quality of life. So they're just so key to that component. However, getting certified is one process, but it's not enough. So we have to make sure that the certification gives us a return on our investment, which means that you want to start as a small business owner, you want to get certified, but you want to grow. And you can't grow if you aren't available as a business owner to do the business development part, which means you got to get some back house on your payroll, your accounting, your operations. A lot of businesses come to us with different challenges, but sometimes we have to start with their operations to get moving. So you want to get into certification and you want to be on that pace to grow. So if you don't participate in these studies, if you don't give the input, then you really can't complain about the program if you feel it's not doing what you wanted to do. This is the opportunity where you have.
We did the city, we finished MWRD. Colette is finishing Cook County. I know she's working on Chicago Public Schools, Chicago Park District. We are moving forward with CMS, and we are moving forward also with the tollway. And again, as Melinda says, if we don't tell these agencies what we think or what can be improved, things evolve. And the agencies need to evolve. Being a former government worker, government is always a little bit slow to evolve. We have to let these agencies know what the new needs are. We need to, quote unquote, pivot a bit here. And it is through us that these recommendations will be made. And then we'll be able to preserve these programs and not be afraid if there is a lawsuit. When Colette is finished with her product, it is legally defensible.
And that is why we also want to, you and Ty, make sure that we make this partnership with ADP available to your businesses as well at those meetings. If they need help with, as an MB certified business, we know the struggle. Any support we can give, we're open to it. But we also just need to make sure that we as the business community, obviously as a head of an organization, we're going to weigh in, but we need to get our businesses, we need to know the real problems so that we know if a process can be changed. The more we know your problems and challenges, that really does help us in giving good recommendations, if that makes sense. So we have to communicate and participate in these studies so that if we are on the wrong path, sometimes Colette have helped me understand that maybe what I thought should be and why it can't legally or why it might jeopardize the whole program. So we can figure this out together.
Correct.
So we really need you to participate in these surveys. When you get the email that is not coming from CBA, it is coming from
Colette Holtz and Associates. She is the lawyer, from the Chicagoland area, who now lives in San Antonio. But, you know, she wrote the city's first MBE program eons ago. She is the person.
And we can always put you in contact with Sandy's right here all the time, right, ready, available. So if you have a problem with phrasing or what you want to say, or if it fits the conversation, we can connect you with her as well.
Absolutely.
So can you all join me in, Ronald, did you want to say anything from Provident Bay before we go? And then I'm going to ask everybody to hit the reaction screen and give all of our presenters a big clap and thank them for being here, and thank you for being here. Mr. Millsap, did you didn't introduce yourself earlier. You want to say hello? He's unmuted, but I hear nothing. Kai, what about you? I think you said something in the beginning, but you want to, you always sharing good information for us. So if you want to.
Yes, Sandy, everything Sandy said, I definitely co-sign. Number one, because Chicago Public Schools, we are in the process of going through our disparity study. One of the issues that Colette Holt and Associates is having, that the individuals are not responding to emails. So I was like, don't worry, I know how to stalk people for a living. So I got on though, I would actually go to the office 3 days out the week. I got on the phone. So when they see Chicago Public Schools, people answer a phone. They're not going to answer my cell phone number, but they'll answer my downtown number. So just letting individuals know that someone will reach out to them with Colette Holt and Associates, and how important it is to participate in this disparity study. That's number one. Number two, Lauren and Ty, I really would like to partner with you to work with our new construction, what are they called? Our various trade vendors and our, oh Jesus, I just drew a blank. Our construction people, the CPS. We just onboarded a whole bunch of new vendors, and this will be a great opportunity to partner with Chatham Business Association to do a workshop, either definitely after our sneak peek, because that is like my whole life, my living being that I'm dealing with. But this way, I know I'm having one literally the next day after our sneak peek, and we can work to strategize together to put you guys on, so you can work with those particular vendors. And heck, I might even think about my construction vendors. I want to use all my vendors, because I just pulled the list. I ran a list last night, like 4,888 vendors with Chicago Public Schools. And I'm like, okay, are y'all really a business, or you just trying to say that you're a business? So I want to really help these individuals formulate and get their business off to a great start. Because if you do not secure payments, AKA if you don't get payments, if you do not secure payment with the school within 12 months, we kick you out. And individuals, they call me all the time. Hi, man, save it for somebody else. I ain't got time for you. My schools are open. My principals have been in their buildings every single day throughout the whole pandemic. So I guarantee you can make some money. And my last thing, which, you know, I'm always excited about, is our annual sneak peek. It's our construction project summit. So you get to see the next upcoming projects that we have for our buildings in the FY22. Yesterday morning, I had to run and do some drop-offs. I went all the way to the west side, morning traffic. I couldn't believe it. Like, I did this early in the morning, went all the way to my schools, almost to Oak Park, to drop off some things. And now I see things in a different lens because I'm in procurement. And I'm like, oh yeah, they need a new roof. Ooh, they need new this, or they need some playground equipment. So when I came back home, I was letting the individuals know. They was like, that school that you went to, they're on the list for 2022. I'm like, yay, because it was raggedy. So that particular summit is coming up on December the 16th. I'm so excited about it. We are still virtual. As much as I want people to gather around and be around everyone, it's not about to happen. And I keep telling people, hey, I believe in going to games and Bulls games and everything else. You just show your vaccination card. It's that simple. And you make people adhere to certain rules and regulations. So we haven't made it there yet, but hopefully by next year, they'll get us all in person. Just get everyone vaccinated, we'll be straight. So, and then just to let everyone know, if you have any children within Chicago Public Schools, this coming Friday, November the 12th, it's vaccination day. take your kids to go get vaccinated. It's no school for them. So instead of having them at home with you, get them vaccinated. I promise you, they're going to go to sleep after they get their shot. So that's all I have. I look forward to partnering with you, and thank you for giving me this platform. Oh, no. One more thing. I'm sorry. I'll put our link in on our website of our upcoming opportunities. So this particular opportunity that we have coming up is called Intervention for Youth High-Risk Situations. So most people think if you have any SEL, social emotional learning type programs or services, it's deeper. It goes all the way to the weeds. This particular RFP was written so radical that I've never seen anything like this in my life. They want you to go to homes, find out what's going on with these kids, giving them the solutions to their problems. If it's family issues, bringing resources to them, and not just giving it to them and walking out the door. Staying with these families and monitoring them through any of the issues that they're going on. You know, I don't know how many people have kids in CPS, but a lot of our children, especially during the pandemic, food was not one issue that they were going on. Many of our kids, they went to the schools just so they can get their clothes washed and take a hot shower, because those are opportunities and resources that we have at our schools that most people in the street don't even know about. So this intervention for youth at high risk, that is a great RFP. Next, intrusion alarm services, another supplemental for social and emotional learning. I feel like I've been screaming social and emotional learning the entire pandemic. Meal management on-point services, so the POS, so you can calculate for meal management, that's out on the street. And this is a cool one. This is a robotic process automation with AI. So all my techies that's out there, I think Mr. Johnson, he was dealing with the tech issue earlier with computers. Hey, if you know how to do robotics and AI, this RFP is for you. So I'm going to put that link in the chat, and thank you again.
Oh, thank you so much. We love you.
And can you email that to me too? I know
Yep,
you're
I'm
gonna
gonna send all my little flyers off to people, and I can't wait. And then shameless plug, I would like for Chatham Business Association to host one of my sessions. I titled it last week. I was supposed to send emails out yesterday morning, but I was in the streets at school. So I will send it off today, and I will be honored to have you host our
Always a privilege. Anytime.
Who's gonna do it?
Anything.
I already wrote it down. I was like, okay, we're gonna have Melinda Kelly, Chatham Business Association. I already have Hasia. And then this would be great to work with ADP and some of the other resources that you have. You can bring that up, and we can, flush some things out so we can have, follow-up workshops after the sneak peek.
Yeah, I already told Lauren and Tyler, I know they have things going on in their personal life, but they have to put those on hold and help us out.
Yep. CPS, we love people. We stalk you.
We're in.
And Mr. Millsap, we didn't hear him, but he did put his information in the chat, and he said, feel free to call him regarding any personal or professional needs. So if there's not any other questions, last call for questions or comments or announcements. I am always so grateful, Frida and the team and our membership, our insurance agent for just joining on with us second Tuesday of each month. Look forward to new things. We're real excited about what's coming on. We're ready to go to work. We rolled up our sleeves. We're taking our vitamins. So, we're just ready.
Hey, wonderful.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. We're going to conclude the meeting. Sandy, thanks for everything as always.
Thanks, guys.
Great.
Have a good one.
Bye, everyone.
Have a blessed one.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
Lauren. Okay.
Great.